I'll be making the Lebanese sausages, so the séjour. I am using homemade sausages. You don't have to use homemade. You can use store-bought, and I always use one from a local butcher. Really nice, depending on if you want chili, without chili. There's all these different types. But I had these stored, so what I'll do is I'll be using them. So how you do it, because this doesn't have a lot of fat in it, most of the store-bought ones have fat in the actual meat itself. I've put a fair bit, so I've just filled up the bottom with just a very, very thin layer of vegetable oil. What I'll now add is the onions to the side. And then I'll start to layer the sausages so I can turn them over. They may start to bubble, which they are now. You need to stop because it does have water in it. Otherwise you're going to have splatters all over you. And we've got them all in there now. So what I'll do is I'll keep cooking it, I'll keep turning them. I'll have the lid on for a fair bit until they stop the bubbling and everything. So I'll do that. I'll wait for it to finish and I'll just keep turning. I have removed the lid so they can now start cooking off and I can start turning them. But the reason for removing the lid, it's actually built up with a lot of water because it was so hot, the oil, it's actually started to bubble up. So what I've done is I've taken off the lid. I'm going to keep cooking it off and turning the sides to brown the sides of both the onion and the sausages. But it will then evaporate also the water. So cook off the water that's actually built up in that time. It's very important that you actually cook off the sausage. Obviously, depending on what sort of meat it is, it will determine the colour on the outside, but you need it to brown as much as you can. And as you can see, the onions have also cooked off. You need to remember, there are a lot of people that actually like the sausage fat to be kept on here. I personally don't, because of obviously the cholesterol piece in my family. So if you want to keep it, you can keep it. It will still come out with a bit of oil. So as you can see, mine's cooked off slightly, but you can drain if you've got any extra. That's not water, because it will only evaporate the water. It will not evaporate the oil itself in this dish because of how fatty this type of dish is. So this for me is actually ready. So what I do add is some pomegranate molasses. So once this is ready, so I turn off the stove. I grab my molasses. A lot of people don't like this. You can add just salt and pepper and then you're done. Some people just add lemon because this is like a lemon equivalent. So you're doing roughly about 1 tablespoon worth. You re-add the lid. Shake as much as you can and let it sit there for about 5 minutes before you start to eat. But this this has cooked off, so it will actually go really golden from it. It will taste with a bit of sourness to it. If you need to add salt, if you really love your food with salt, you can add salt. But this dish, you don't put the salt in it, so you can have salt on the side, and then each person can put to their liking. But this is ready to be served as is.